three, in and out. Angel Reese collects and finishes. Alicia Gray can't connect. Rebound goes to Reese. She's had no threes in 3 games, and she knocks that one.
The defense for Dallas recovered.
Angel Reese.
Defensive play.
Angel Reese getting more touches on the wing.
And the backboard to finish.
Jessica Shepard leading all Dallas players with...
Wait a minute. As my good friend The Rock would say, who in the Rudy Poo was that? Was that Angel Reese? Was that the matriarch of me-bounds, the league leader in missed layups, arguably the most unathletic player in a league filled with players who lack the athleticism to tie their shoes? I probably watched that short clip over a dozen times this morning because the player I saw in that clip is not the Angel Reese that I am accustomed to seeing. By some miracle, Angel Reese had a dominant performance last night. 15 points, 9 rebounds, 7 of 11 from the field. Although, there is a little bit of a caveat. Critics of Angel Reese might claim that this dominant performance really doesn't count because the Dallas Wankers were an absolute eyesore last night. Take a look at this stat line. Look at the missing person at the bottom. How in the hell is it possible to shoot less than 10% from the field? You could blindfold an NBA player and make him shoot with one hand, and he would still make more than 1 of 10 shots. But in fairness to Angel Reese, this stat line from the Dallas Wankers, this absolutely abysmal performance, that is your average performance in the WNBA dump, which is why Uncle KC has a hard time watching this league. I tried to watch the Indiana Felines last night, and we'll talk more about the Great White Hope here in just a minute. I tried to watch the Indiana Felines as they played the Golden State Vikings. I had to turn the game off at halftime. Caitlyn Clark does her best. She tries to make pretend basketball entertaining, but this league sucks. It's like watching the steam rise off a freshly baked pile of drizzling shit. As you guys know, Uncle KC is highly critical of Angel Reese, mainly because Angel Reese likes to portray herself as a game changer. Her pretend friends in the mainstream media, they want us to believe that Angel Reese is the reason that people are paying attention to pretend basketball. Several times this season, I have shared highlights with you guys of Angel Reese, or as they are called on America's Funniest Home Videos, bloopers. Since I have shared her abundance of bloopers, I think it's only fair that I credit Angel Reese for a miraculously good performance. Angel Reese was great last night. The problem is, no one saw it. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. Today on the second channel, going to be talking about New York Giants quarterback Jackson Dart introducing the Trumper at a speech yesterday in New York City. The woke media, along with some of his teammates, are mad. They are criticizing Jackson Dart for having the audacity to introduce the president to the crowd. But surprisingly, there is a voice of reason amongst all the fake outrage, and you are not going to believe who it is. So if you haven't already, click the link in the description below, subscribe to the second channel. Unfortunately for Angel Reese, one of the best performances in her WNBA career has largely went unnoticed. According to the WNBA and their pretend friends in the media, Paige Bueckers and AZ Fudd, my boo. The WNBA's favorite couple that no one is allowed to talk about, along with Angel Reese, these are 3 of the biggest stars in the league, right? The Dallas Wankers, the Atlanta Dreamers, Both teams are filled with dynamic players. This is must-see TV. It was hard to access this must-see TV last night because this high-profile matchup that no one cared about was not nationally televised. Uncle Casey, that's not true. This game was broadcast on ION. According to the WNBA website, the game was broadcast on ION, but it's strange because when I turned to ION last night, the only game I saw on my guide was the Golden State Vikings, a team filled with players who go unrecognized at family reunions, and the Indiana Caitlyn Clarks. I guess WNBA games on ION are similar to how Fox and CBS broadcast the NFL on Sunday afternoons. Fox and CBS, they show local markets, local regions, the team in their area. For example, if the Saints are on Fox and the Falcons are on CBS, down here in the South, those are the two games that we are going to see. Now, with that being the case, you would think ION would show the wankers and the dreamers to people living in the South. I mean, it makes sense, right? I live between Dallas and Atlanta. I am nowhere close to Indianapolis, and thankfully, I'm even further away from the city of rainbows. But for some reason, ION decided to broadcast Caitlyn Clark nationally last night, which means Angel Reese and her miraculous performance was buried and seen by no one. Uncle Casey, the arena in Atlanta was packed last night. Plus, the stars were in the building. The celebrities were amazed by the dominance of Angel Reese. The what? The who? The stars? Take a look at this clip that the WNBA put on social media last night. You tell me if you recognize any of these so-called stars. Also, pay very close attention to the background of the arena, and I use the term arena loosely here because the game last night looked to be played in a convention center or the local YMCA. Angel Reese and her Barbie dream house has more square footage than this so-called arena. I have seen used car lots bigger than this arena. According to the WNBA, these are the stars from last night. Check it out for yourself. Who, and who? It's like they are having a competition to see who is less famous. And I don't even know who is winning. Who is more unknown? The fake stars in the seats or the fake stars on the court? This miraculous performance from Angel Reese, it is also being overshadowed again by Caitlyn Clark. No one is talking about Angel Reese this morning. Most of the coverage is centered around the immaculate return of the Great White Hope and the ongoing drama with the Indiana Felines. Like I said, I turned the game off at halftime last night. 2 quarters is about all I can take of bad basketball, but for the second game in a row, I noticed a lot of empty seats in the arena for the Indiana Felines last night. Most of them were in the lower bowl. Now, I don't expect Caitlyn Clark to sell out every home game. As dynamic of a player as she is, it's unrealistic to expect her to sell out 21 home games every season. But Casey, she was able to do that in her rookie year. Yeah, but over time, the newness wears off. People are busy. They don't want to fight traffic on a Friday night. So they pick and choose which home games they will attend. However, I am surprised to see this many empty seats. Right now, there is a civil war going on between the Fever organization and Caitlyn Clark fans. Fans of the Great White Hope. They want Stephanie White to be fired. They believe Caitlyn Clark is being mistreated by the organization. And the Rue from Waterloo, she is stuck in the middle. Kind of feel bad for Caitlyn Clark. She's in a tough situation. Her fan base is turning on her employer. Earlier this week, Caitlyn Clark missed a game due to a back injury. 90 minutes before tip-off, it was announced that Caitlyn Clark would not be playing. And immediately, the flaming ass fire spread on social media. The Fever were accused of hiding her injury. The Fever were accused of ripping fans off. And Caitlyn Clark, like I said, stuck in the middle. Again, tough situation. She's got to be very careful with how she addresses this. She doesn't want to piss off the organization, and she damn sure doesn't want to piss off her fan base, also known as the only people keeping this WNBA turd afloat. Before the game last night, Caitlyn Clark spoke to the media, and she addressed everything that happened earlier this week. Watch it for yourself.
Maybe I get in my head a little bit, and that's understandable. Like, I need to have a little grace with myself. I need people to give me a little bit of grace too. You know, when you go through so many things, it becomes a little bit traumatizing too. But I hope it's not something that hinders me. You know, I think I'm doing everything I can to put myself in the best position I can. Is recovery-wise, I'm continuing to lift. I'm continuing to get massages, hyperbaric, needling. You know, every single thing I can possibly do after games to put myself in position to play the next game. And I feel really good. It's, like I said, a lot of it is mental.
Look, I understand why Caitlyn Clark fans were pissed off. You buy tickets or you're looking forward to watching the game on TV. 90 minutes before the game starts, you find out that the only player you care about is not playing. I get it. I understand the frustration, but I don't think this is some conspiracy. I don't think the organization was hiding something from fans the other night. If you follow the NBA during the regular season, then you know this is very common. Damn near every night in the NBA, teams announce that someone will miss a game right before it starts. It's also not uncommon for teams to be intentionally vague with injuries to star players. This happens in every league, the NFL, NBA. Sure, it happens in Major League Baseball. I don't know if it happens in the NHL because hockey players are tough. They tend to play through injuries. But it's common for teams to be intentionally vague with injuries to their star players. To me, the much larger story is whether or not Caitlyn Clark is going to make it through the season. And how many seasons will she be able to play at this level? Back injuries are tough. They're tough to treat. You never know when it will flare up. Case in point, Caitlyn Clark was feeling fine the day before the game earlier this week. She was feeling okay the morning of the game, but by the afternoon, her back was feeling sore. If you're going to be the face of the league, you have got to be available. You have to be consistently reliable. And it is incredibly hard to do that when you're dealing with constant back problems. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.